Hello folks and welcome back to my channel. This is going to be a quick video tutorial about RS-25 Manned Heroic, specifically Halion fight, how it goes, where to position, how to put your debuffs when you have it. It doesn't matter if it's from the first phase when you have the fire debuff or inside the Shadow Realm when you have the Shadow debuff. This is the beginning of the fight. As you can see, the tank is over here, so he's gonna move inside, attack the boss. Ideally, if the boss is in the middle, like after the tank taunted, it's gonna be perfect. If not, usually some of tank is gonna come from here down for a bit to make the position, but this is not something you should concern. Once you enter into the room, this circle around here is gonna be your fighting zone, so you cannot move outside of that. Once the fight starts, you want every melee to position like here. Around max melee range, they can reach the boss and still hit it. Ranges and healers can stay where the melees are, or they can stay a bit on the back. As the fight goes for a bit, some of the people in the raid are gonna receive the debuff and they need to come here to the edge. Like ideally, you want to come here around and start moving this direction, because when you get this spell from this debuff, when you reach the wall you just move this direction, because when you get this spell there is gonna be a circle on the ground that when you stay in this circle you're gonna take damage. So when you reach the wall and you start moving this direction, once you get dispel, if you cannot dispel yourself, you're gonna move away from this fire circle on the ground that's making damage faster. Because if you reach here and you just stop moving, and then after you get this spell start moving, you're gonna take 1, 2, 3 or 4 ticks, depend how fast you are, from this damage, and this is not necessary. Some classes can move faster, like mage can blink, hunter can disengage, warrior can intervene, charge, whatever. But yeah, usually once you reach, you want to start moving this direction, tail side. You don't want to move this direction, because if you move this direction and put the debuff somewhere here, the meteor is gonna drop. So here is gonna drop the meteor and you're gonna be in trap, because probably this way is gonna come the fire flames, and you need to move like in front of the Halion. And when you move in front of the Halion, there is a huge chance that he's gonna do breath and you're gonna die, because here is gonna be blocked from the meteor and the fire that meteor is creating after that. So ideally you want to move right side. Even if you get trapped, you have all the space back behind the boss to move. So here the the meteor uh, the meteor is gonna drop. The fire things may come this way also, but you have so much space here to maneuver in, you don't need to worry about that he's gonna do breath. So this is how it starts at the beginning. Let me just clear all the drawings and move on. So as I said, the fight starts. uh, as you see, the position is not that good, so probably the tank is gonna move him a bit, or maybe he's gonna leave him there. He didn't move him, but it's all right. So the first person now is gonna get the debuff, as you see, and now they move the boss through the middle. So there we go, the first meteor. The first meteor is over here. Let me see. So the first meteor is dropping over here, as you can see. Here is the boss body, right? So this is the boss body, this is the middle of the boss. When you are crossing from meteor, if you are crossing more towards the head side, like this way, you're crossing, and he's doing breath, the chance that you're gonna get hit is huge, so you may die when you're just crossing, because the hitbox on the breath is actually not where the head is, it's more towards his body, like in the middle or a bit more left from the middle. So ideally you want to cross this side from here, like when the middle, you see the middle of the boss around here, and you want to cross this way, because this way, even if he do breaths, the chance that you're gonna get hit is 0, so you're not gonna die for sure. Okay, let's move. Meteor is dropping. you're crossing by. If you're hunter, mage, or some other class that can use something to move faster, you can do it. As you can see here, as a hunter, I just face my back towards the boss and I just disengage, so I move instantly. Now I have the target macro for targeting the big ad, so I don't even look to, I'm not even looking where the big ad is. As you can see, I don't see where the big ad is at all because I don't care. I press the macro and I target automatically the big ad. I put misdirect. Like here, the specific things that you need to look out is if you're a hunter, you need to do misdirect on the Living Inferno to the tank that is tanking Halion. And if you're a rogue, once the little embers are coming closer to the raid, you have to do your tricks to the off tank that is tanking the little ads. Ideally, like the off tank that is tanking the little ads gonna tank them around here where the back leg is, because if he's tanking more towards the head side, the big ad is gonna be around here where the main tank is tanking Halion. So if the little ones are here tanking it, they're gonna grow and they're gonna get more HP, they're gonna do more damage, it's gonna take more time to kill them. That's why you want the off tank to tank them here. And yeah, let's see how it goes. I did misdirect on the Living Inferno. I came around the backlight. As I said, the whole rate is around the backlight. Once my ability is over, I'm gonna put a fire trap and I'm gonna be a bit more on the back. Every range and healer should stay around here behind the melees, or a bit more on the back even if you can move faster, because that way when you cross you can see clearly where the direction of the flames are, because sometimes if you are staying inside a boss it's gonna be hard for you to see the direction the flames are coming, so your chance to move faster and prevent this fire damage it's gonna be lower. That's why always when you cross you want to go, if you're melee, max melee range, or if you're range or healer you go a bit more on the back so you can see the flames clearly. And after that, every range should DPS the Living Inferno. Once the Living Inferno is dead, the raid can go and DPS Halion, because this is first phase and we're gonna have a lot of melees that can cleave, warriors can cleave, feral druids can cleave, unholy can cleave, roach can cleave, so the range DPSers don't need to cleave the little ones in the phase 1, to be honest, if the raid damage is good. So second meteor, as you see, the person that got the debuff, the second debuff that somebody get, this Shadow Priest here, he put it on a good spot here. So as I said, never put it around. Even this first debuff where the person put it, I guess it was a healer, the first one, or somebody that can dispel himself. That's why he went straight and put it around the middle of the boss, as you can see. And he returned back. But the second one, even if this circle was not here, he's gonna put it here and he's gonna start moving this direction, never this direction, as I said at the beginning, because if he get this spell a bit later and he try to return back, he might get bread, because the bread is have huge range. So always you want to put your debuff on the tail side, as you can see this priest did here. Good job on that. And after the debuff, we're gonna have second meteor. As I said at the beginning, the whole raid should stay max. The whole raid should stay max range from the boss. So the meteor is gonna drop around here, or if it's on some healers or rather range around here, and we're gonna have more time when we're crossing. So that's why you see where the people are, and they're more towards the back leg, because when you're there doing melee damage, they can trigger parry, so that's gonna trigger melee haste for the boss. It's gonna hit faster with his melee attacks, and yeah, that's why you want to stay a bit more on the back as melee and DPS from there, not around the middle of the boss, because that can still trigger parry haste. Okay, so the first The second meteor is about to come. The second meteor is dropping. Now the whole rate is gonna cross again the boss. And when you cross, as I said, always cross towards the tail side, not towards head side, because you may get bread. Once you cross, another person is gonna get the debuff. And you see, if you sit in a bit more on the back, you can see the flames clearly. Like you see the flames are coming this direction around here, so the rate is moving around there, and that's a good spot to be in it at the moment. So everyone as a range should focus, unless the boss is not that much lower on HP to get into the next phase. To the big odds, as you can see, hunters are doing their misdirection, and rogues are gonna do their tricks on the little ones in a bit. So there you go. You see the person here with the debuff again, where he's going. Like that's very important. That's the thing that our guild team is taking a lot. Like you see, even it's like last meteor and last debuff that we're gonna have before the next phase, he's going this direction to put it towards the tail side. He's not going straight down or this side, because he may get trapped from the fire that is coming from the meteor. And so yeah, this is again, you kill the big ad and then focus on the little ones, and then on the boss. But that depends how much HP the boss has. Since we have so much DPS, we can cleave the living embers and push the boss into the next phase. That's why we are focusing the little ones and the big ones, because the rate damage is pretty high. And we're gonna push into the next phase. So the big ad is dead. I'm just helping here, giving the living embers, and we're going to the next phase. Like one thing that a lot of people are doing, it's like they're entering before the tank that is tanking inside. You don't want to do that like ever, because if you do that, it's a wipe and you have to redo the encounter from start again. Once the tanks enter inside, I believe the tank that is entering inside is the decaying group 2. Everyone else should enter inside. Once you're inside, you always want to go to the left side if you are facing, like when you are entering to the portal, if you are facing like I'm facing at the moment, if I'm facing the tail, because I'm facing the tail, you go left side, right? But if you spawn here and you are facing the Halion head, you're going right side. So depend which way you are facing, you're always going this direction. Like if you're facing the tail, you're going left side. If you are facing his head, you're going right side. So this is when you enter and you get a good position, because inside we're gonna have 4 cutters, and with these 4 cutters we're gonna have debuff like this fire debuff, but it's gonna be shadow. Once you're inside, like almost the whole rate is gonna stay in. Usually outside is gonna stay 1 tank and 1 healer to keep the tank alive until the rest of the raid that is going outside for the last phase is exiting from the portals. But inside you have cutters. On heroic there are 4 cutters are making an X, and you need to maneuver around the cutters so you don't get hit by the cutters. And again, you're gonna have this soul consumption debuff on some random person, and this person is going to put the debuff like where the WoW is. Again, the same thing as on first phase, like here is the low, you cannot go more than that. So the person will go where the WoW is and is gonna start moving this direction, not other direction, because other direction is gonna gap faster the cutter that is coming from here, because the cutters are moving this direction. When you move to the right side on the boss, when you are facing his head, as he said, when you're entering, just look what you're facing and move accordingly. Like this is his head, and these are the cutters, so the position they're coming. So let's move and see how it goes. Inside, as I said, you're just DPSing, the whole rate is inside. Outside, the people that are outside with 1 tank and 1 healer usually. So the first debuff is coming. As you see, the person is moving this direction. towards the tail side again, not towards the head side. So here is the person with the debuff. He's gonna put it around here, and depending when the cutters are coming, if we're gonna pass this cutter, he's gonna move this direction, or if we're gonna move with the cutter, he's gonna move that direction. So you need to be aware of the timer and are we gonna have cutter or not when you have the debuff. So you can start moving accordingly, or you can simply just move towards the raid. Like these are your three places that you can move. So yeah, he's gonna get dispel in a bit, and he's gonna move like this direction, left side as I said. So now the first cutters are coming. As you can see, I'm sitting around the middle, because if I'm sitting around the middle like I'm at the moment, like the gap, like here is around the middle where I'm sitting, like you see the space from here to here, how little it is. So from here to here where the most of the raids are, the space is so little, but from here to here the space is so huge. So if I'm around the middle, it's gonna take less time, more time to cutters to actually reach me, and I need to start move again this side. So around the middle is a good position, but the problem with around the middle is like if the person that have the debuff around here and the dispel is a bit slow, the purple thing on the ground is gonna be bigger and you're gonna go sucking, like I believe in this video is gonna happen, so you see what I mean. So that's why ideally you want to be a bit behind the millis, like your spot is around here, your sweet spot, so you don't get boo inside. But yeah, let me clear this thing and move to the what is actually happening. So first cutter passed by. Again, I'm sitting around the middle, DPSing, the next person got the debuff, got dispel, and then he's gonna return back. Here I'm a bit more on the back, so probably I'm gonna get tail slash or whatever when the tail hits you and you get stunned for a bit. No, I didn't get it. Again, I'm around the middle. As you can see, the other hunter is where I'm also one of the shadow priests too. So I see I have free wobbles and I'm moving on my free wobbles, not losing cooldown. Now this is happening what I'm telling you, like you see where this person came, like can get dispel not close to the actual edge but more towards the middle. So me and one mage get boo inside. The mage instantly use ice block, which is fine. I'm gonna instantly disengage and move away from this. So if you're a class that can do that, it's good to do it, but the position there in this case was not that good because we get boo inside, and that way we stress our healers to heal us up. So I'm just disengaging instantly. As you can see, I didn't receive any heals when I was boo inside and when I went back, but because my reaction was fast, I didn't die. So again, we're gonna have the next debuff in a bit. One very important thing here that is happening, like the person that have the debuff, as you can see, we are already, and this second phase is going till the boss reach 50%, right? So once the boss reach 50%, there is going to be portal opening, like the portal is here, but you need to wait to get the debuff, like whoever from the raid get the debuff and move it away from the raid and put it as usual close to the wall, because if you're getting the debuff and you enter into the portal, the debuff is going to be automatically dispelled and the purple circle is going to be here on the ground, so everyone from the raid is going to be sucked in and they're probably going to die. If they're not major cooldowns and the face use it, you're going to wipe the raid. That's a huge mistake. You don't want to do that. Once the boss is around 50%, you just watch and look for the debuff. If it's not on you, or if it's still not on somebody else, you just wait. And once you do that, like this is the last phase. The last phase is happening. All the ranges, Roges and Holy Decay usually are going outside, and all the ranges and the healers that's supposed to heal outside are entering into the portals. The rest of the raids, millis, and 2 or 3 healers, depending on your raid setup, is staying inside. And now we have corporality. Probably you can see here the corporality, like let me move this for a bit. Yeah, you see this here, 50%, that's corporality. When it's 50%, Alien is doing normal damage. When it go higher, it's doing more damage on, let's say, outside or inside, depending if it's going like 30%, like if it's going down, it's going 30%. It's gonna do more damage on the one side of the tank. If it's going up like over 50%, 60, 70, whatever, it's gonna do more damage on the tank on the other realm. So ideally you want to keep this corporality 50%. Sometimes it may go 60 or 40 or even huge more difference, but that's the thing you want to take a look at and make sure you are around 50%. So as I see that the other person get the debuff, not me, I'm just gonna entering to the portal and then we're going outside. As I said, outside we have Unholy Decay, two Rogues, and of course all the rest of the ranges. So again, here is like the first phase, but not the whole raid is here. So now we're gonna have the debuff. You see the person where he's going with the debuff. And now moving back, again when you are crossing towards the tail side. Now the hunter needs to do their MD to the Bigat. Everyone from the region should DPS the Bigat and kill it as faster as they can, because the more Bigats stay alive, the chances that the main tank is gonna die is bigger. So once the Bigat is dead, you go to Helion and just clip the little embers. If you have good raid DPS, they should die pretty much instantly after that. As it's happening now, again, another meteor is gonna drop. We're gonna cross again. We're gonna empty the Bigat again. The road is gonna tricks the little ones again. Again, you're moving more towards the back so you can see the flames clearly. If they're going your direction, you have better chance to see them and space to maneuver. So this is what is happening here, just DPSing Bigat, killing it as faster as you can, and then sweeping back to the little ones if they need more damage, or just pushing Halion in our case, because our clip damage is so good. Like Priest, Roges and Holy are doing so much clip damage, so the rest of us, like mages, hunters, they don't need to actually focus doing damage on the little ones. And this how this phase goes outside, like the same like the first phase, but now only the half of the rate is here. So you're basically killing Bigat and little ones and pushing Helion, and then putting the debuff towards the end of the circle, like as I explained in the beginning. Yeah, this is how this fight goes, and now I'm gonna show how the fight goes inside when the half the raid is just there, not the whole raid. So here we're around 50%, as I said, and we're gonna wait a bit to see whoever gonna get the debuff, and then we're gonna start. Whoever is gonna start entering into the portal is gonna start entering the portal. As you can see, the debuff is in this person in group 4. So he's going close to the wall and get dispelled. The rest of the raid that's supposed to go outside is gonna pick up the portal and move there. Here, the position is really crucial, as I explained in the beginning of the video. On the second phase, because you see my position, how good I'm positioning, and I don't need to move that much. Like that's because my position is good. Like you see the rest of the raid, where is it? See where I'm more towards this line that is gonna happen from the cutters, and not so much close to this line. And the gap between these lines is so huge, so I don't need to move as much as the rest of the raid need, because this gap is so little. They gonna, the line from the cutters that are chasing them, it's gonna come closer to them, then it's gonna come closer to me, so that's gonna give me more time to stay in one place and heal, or to range DPS, or to whatever I'm doing. Like if I'm melee, I'm gonna be sitting here, not where these people are, but that's just positioning and understanding of the cutters, because you need to pay attention. That's why I'm always looking this direction when I'm playing east side as a healer or DPS or whatever, so I can see this cutter, because this cutter is my cutter. I want to be at the beginning of the cutter, I want to be as close to this line as I can. So this will save me movement. I will move less if I'm doing this. So as you can see, the cutters are happening. I'm saying I'm moving just a bit, casting. I have two insta spells, that's why I move. And yeah, all the cutter phase came and I moved just once for 1 second. That was on my insta spell, so I didn't lose any healing. If I was DPS, I would lose any DPS at all because I moved just once and that was on my global. I didn't move so much like the rest of the raid. So as you can see, I'm alone here. Like nobody else from other healer is probably not is probably other hero is Holy Pari, that's why probably he stayed close so he can melee hit and get mana. As you can see, there is nobody around me. And I'm always more towards this cutter, as I said. So when the line happens, I'm going to be closer to this line, not the line that is coming from behind. And this space between these lines is bigger than this space between these two lines. So I need to move not that much like the rest of them. So this is what is happening inside. Again, move on the global, moving on the global again, and I don't need to worry about the cutters because I'm so much far away from them. This is inside what is happening with the raid. Again, the same thing like it was on the second phase, but this time only melees are inside and healers that are supposed to keep them alive. Again, another debuff. Person get dispel. It's very useful when the person get dispel. He get also the freedom from the paladins. In our case, we have like 4 paladins, so we have a lot of hands of freedom. So when you get dispel inside and you have freedom, you can move faster from the purple thing that you see on the ground. This is not gonna slow you, because if you get slowed inside, you're gonna get more damage and the chance you're gonna die from the debuff or cutters reach you is higher. So again, this is what is happening. Like nothing unusual here. We have cutters and then we have debuff. After the debuff, we have cutters again. We keep in the tank alive, and that's how the fight goes. It's pretty easy, but you need to pay attention on your position, where to put your debuff when you have it. Like that's the most important thing in this fight. And yeah, if you do everything correct, you're gonna clear it pretty easy. Like the most important part in this fight is to stay alive and to put good debuff. Like that's the most important part. It's not the damage that you're gonna do, because eventually the enrage timer on the boss is so big, so the rate, even the rate DPS is low, you're gonna clear it down pretty easy. But the more people are alive, like during the first phase, second phase, and the last phase, the faster you're gonna kill it. And yeah, guys, so I hope you enjoyed this Halion explanation of the fight. I know it's kind of bigger, but I want to go detail like what you should do, and specifically why you should do it this way. As I said, on some raids, some raid masters, raid leaders, whatever, they may want from you to do some different things, but usually this is how the fight goes. It's easy for the raid, it's easy for everyone if you follow and do your tactics correct, because that's the most important part. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed, guys, and see you next time.